Howdy, we're back. Let's talk about game news, which is on your screen over there. And so as a result, since you're close to it, you're going to have to narrate through what's going on. I'm not even looking.
Okay. No, let's start with some event news first before we get to the game news. Obviously, look, it's the end of the year, not a lot of events, right? So there's not a huge amount of events coming up this coming weekend. There is a couple of tournaments taking place in Texas. One is called 4T3, which is a Super Smash Brothers event in Austin, Texas. Tekken on the brain. 1,000 pop bonus for Melee singles, 500 pop bonus for Project M singles. This will be streamed on twitch.tv/TourneyLocator.
Wow, cool.
Okay. And then also in Texas, in Austin, Texas, is the Tribe Comics and Games Lone Star Battleground. This is an MKX tournament presented by Mortal Kombat X, I guess. Mortal Kombat
ATX.
Yeah.
How about that?
And Square One, $250 pop bonus will be streamed on twitch.tv/Mortal Kombat ATX. So the stream is actually Combat ATX.
Right.
So. And then in Japan, this one kind of confused me because there's a tournament called Starting Over, Fight Your Rivals at Club Sega in Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan.
Okay.
Which is a Japanese Ultra Street Fighter 4 3-on-3 Togeki-style national arcade tournament at Club Sega.
Okay.
This is going to be from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. But there's also Starting Over Holy Winter Mix taking place the same weekend from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. between Saturday and Sunday, which is like the same time. I don't know.
Was the previous one Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday?
They're listed on the same day.
Oh, they are, yeah.
And it's a Japanese Ultra Street Fighter 4 5-on-5 arcade tournament taking place at the same Club Sega in Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan. I'm not sure if somehow they accidentally got mixed up and...
I don't really know.
Yeah, so...
Okay. Well, that's some stuff to watch.
Okay. Also, some coming up event news. So, if you guys remember, Axis here in the United States, who published Guilty Gear Xrd on consoles, I should say, and Uniel, and did they do Blaze Blue and Persona? No.
That was Atlas.
Atlas did those ones, right?
Yeah.
So, in any case, Guilty Gear and Under Night and Birth, they're doing their own event in February called Anime Ascension. So they're running that in February, but the coolest thing about that now is that they have announced that Uniel ST, or Uniel, I guess it would be Uniel ST, will be playable at Anime Ascension, as well as Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator.
That will be at the University of California, Irvine, on February 28th. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make it out for that.
Oh, I'm going out to that for sure.
Yeah.
Because I finally just started sitting down and watching Xrd Revelator footage. And so for the first time, I actually started watching Johnny footage. You know, and dude, it just made me so happy watching that character move on screen. But his combos are ridiculous now. The stuff that he does is way more brutal looking than he used to be able to do. So now it just seems like whenever you get hit by somebody, it leads into just this combo where Johnny's just hitting buttons and the guy's dying. And it always seems to end in a level 2, in another coin, so that the combo ends that you're already at level 2 and ends into a hit that's caused a hard knockdown that you Roman cancel so that you can land and start the mist and get them stuck in it.
Sounds really good.
Dude, he looks so ridiculously good. He looks ridiculous right now. Okay, cool. Should be fun.
I bet.
It'd be a lot more fun than playing Potemkin. But, I mean, just seeing him again and seeing those moves and just how... Because a lot of his normals changed. But he has a lot of the same one. He has the same movement. And I just felt like I was in my happy place watching it. Man. I was just like, I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait for this. So.
That sounds really good.
Okay.
What else?
Also, this is kind of sad news, actually, and this just came out of left field, out of nowhere. But the tournament organizers of Shadaloo Showdown sent out a picture that said farewell, and they announced that Shadaloo Showdown will not be returning in 2016.
Right.
So remember last year it just kind of blindsided everybody? Like they were just like, here's Shadaloo Showdown. And
well, I remember hearing that they did publicize it and we just didn't know about it.
But it just wasn't as big of a deal, because usually Shadaloo Showdown is accompanied by the crazy Boss Logic trailer and all that stuff like that, and I just didn't feel like that happened as much last year, and it was at a different time of year.
That's true.
It was just really interesting, and now it's gone, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Of course, one of the big majors for several different games over the past 6 years, and of course, they got many international players there from North America, from Asia. And I thought of it as one of the sort of big events on the tournament calendar.
Especially because a lot of Japanese players could make it out there.
Right.
It was the same time zone. It was cheaper to fly there
Right.
than it is to the U.S. So it was always a really awesome tournament because it wasn't in any of the Asian countries, but it still brought a lot of the Asian players to travel over there. They flew out a lot of U.S. players from time to time.
It was great. Yeah, I guess it's just another indication. You know, we mentioned this occasionally. It's not a ton of money involved making tournaments run. Okay, you're not getting rich off that stuff.
And any amount of money that you make, it's hard to justify the amount of work that you put into it.
Yeah.
So a lot of events probably do make money,
Oh,
but
I
probably
hope,
not substantially enough to pay all the volunteers, you know,
No,
who
very
run
rarely.
pools,
Yeah.
or even to even for the tournament organizers to make anything close to minimum wage.
Right, yeah, if you figure out the hourly rate, a couple of my friends, you know, of course, they run tournaments, and we've talked about that in the past. Like, what do you think your hourly rate is for running tournaments?
It was really interesting,
It's
too.
very small.
I was reading this article
So many hours.
about YouTube content creators.
Yeah.
And how hard it is for them to make money.
I read it too.
You just read that, right? The one part that stood out to me, though, was that as a YouTube content creator, you're kind of forced into this weird state where you have to be poor for people to appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like if you start taking sponsors, people call you sellout. If you're like, hey, I make a lot of money, people tell you like you're a sellout, or hey, why are you, you know, it's almost like you have to be like struggling in order to be good. And I feel like that's kind of the view on TOs as well. As soon as TOs make money, everyone's like, why are TOs making money? They should give the money to the players. Dude, the players are the richest people right now in the fighting game community, okay?
Top players? For sure.
Right? Let's not even joke about that, okay? Like, right now, between, like, Sonic Fox and Kazunoko and those guys...
Well, let's maybe phrase it like this. The max player income is higher than the max anybody else income.
Right, okay, fair
Although
enough.
that's, of course, not
Fair
very
enough.
representative of the average player. So.
Yeah, so it's just tough. You know, like, for example, when Lapchi charges $9 for a high-quality stream, everyone's like, he's just trying to milk money. He's just trying to come close to breaking even.
Yeah.
You know, that's where Lapchi is at. He's never made a profit on any of the Canada Cups he's ever run, you know? So, I just...
Well, look, I don't know if these were the issues that led to Shadaloo Showdown getting shut down. It just crossed my mind that if it had been quite profitable, they probably wouldn't shut down. So, I don't know.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do these kind
It
of
is
things.
a lot of work.
In fact, even one of the guys at Anime Ascension, one of the guys who works at Axis, I should say, you know, I tweeted this out. I tweeted out with the news with Shadaloo Showdown. I was like, this just shows you that it's just not easy and not lucrative enough to keep doing this. And the guy, and one of the Axis reps said, I'm learning this right now. Trying to run Anime Ascension. You know, it's hard work. It's hard work. So, yeah, Capcom Canada Cup 2015, I think Lapchi finally broke even.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, he finally broke
I mean,
even.
it was a very different location. They had the Capcom Cup going on.
He didn't
like all this
fly
stuff.
out 7,000 players,
Right.
you know, so.
Yep. Hopefully things go better over there.
Yep. Okay, so, so yeah, sad news coming from the Australian front. Hopefully something else will come up, you know, take its place.
They do have other tournaments there. It's
Right.
not the only one.
Or even, you know, even in the situation, for example, Keats and UFGT, you know, someone else just says, you know what, I'll take over the load and, kind of carry the tradition, but be a different line of tournaments or something like that. So
okay.
So that's all I have for event news.
Okay.
We can jump over to game news.
Some interesting stuff to talk about.
Yes, for sure. First of all, oh, that's right, I moved that stuff over there. Okay, yeah, so let's talk about Street Fighter V. This was recently discovered. Someone tweeted a video at us that mentioned in Street Fighter V, they seem to have discovered a third strike-like priority system and had a lot of really strong video evidence to back this up.
Yeah, very good work. Can you scroll down just a bit so we can get the person's name? I just it would be nice to mention.
Periodico SF.
There you go.
Yes. So, in case you guys didn't know, in Street Fighter 3, I should say, it was actually a situation where if two moves traded, moves had a priority level. So light attacks were at the lowest level, then medium, then heavy. So if they traded, the lower priority move just lost.
Right, it just nothing happened, it just got hit.
Mm-hmm. And apparently they're doing that in Street Fighter V.
Yeah,
so,
good evidence, as you said.
Yeah, so if a medium punch trades with a jab, the medium punch wins. Now, if you have two moves trade with each other in Street Fighter 4, and so thus far in all the betas for Street Fighter 5, you don't get a counter hit, because you only get counter hit out of your startup frames. However, it seems like this priority system is employing a forced counter hit,
right,
that if you do get out prioritized, you get counter hit. So they even showed footage of, for example, Bison doing a roundhouse beating a medium button and crush countering. So this is going to be, it's only maybe 1 or 2 extra frames that you get of priority, but now that will help you blow up jabs and shorts, with people mashing on wake up and
I remember people complaining that in one of the earlier betas, they thought there were too many buttons being mashed, too many lights being mashed, in particular.
It can still happen, as some people are saying in the chat, if you just don't time it right. Like I said, it's not like your startup frames are invulnerable to the light attacks. It's only your active frames are invulnerable to their active frames. So if you mistime it, sure, but what that means is you can stand at this range where their jab can't hit you, and if they're mashing jab on wake up, you have a really good chance of blowing up their jabs at those ranges.
I love this. It's great for that, right? It's great for blowing up mashers. It's also great because I think in Street Fighter 4, lights were too good.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
Yes, they were. Yeah,
they were. They did too many things. Crouch teching and turning into legit combos, and sometimes not even bad combos, like crouching short fierce for one character, right? I mean, it's stuff like that, or knockdown combos into whatever setups. They were just really solid, very fastest things in the game. So I'm really happy that it's going to be more of a game like Third Strike, where some jabs are good, but it's more like some jabs are good, some strongs are good, some fierces are good, and it really just depends on the character. And that, I'm very happy that is what it's going to be. In fact, I feel like it's even stronger than that, where the buttons that are slower and have to be more thought out are the ones that are really good, the crush counters.
Right.
So I just think it's so good to me for the wake-up game, but also for the neutral game. I think it just makes for better, interesting footsies.
The footsies are going to be so good.
Yes.
And you know what? I mean, I would enjoy the footsies in Third Strike more if there was no parries. I just don't like parries in general.
I get it, yeah.
And Street Fighter V is going to give me exactly that. And I think that's going to be really exciting.
Oh, dude. Street Fighter 3 with actual fireballs?
Would be really cool, actually. So
that's always been my dream game, and I thought I would never get it. And maybe Street Fighter V won't be it. Obviously, who knows? But it has the signs so far that it could be that style of game. So
it's a really cool find, dude. It looked like it is restricted to just any active frame, because someone actually did a test as well that followed up Periodico's video and had some stuff timed so that things would hit on second active frames and still defeat it and stuff like so. What I'm just guessing is as long as it's an active frame, it can be overridden by the other active frames. So again, you can still punish. So if Birdie whiffs a fierce and you short it or something in its recovery, whatever, you can still hit it before the move comes out. But as long as you get those, I mean, look, the 1 frame links are being increased to 3 frames, right? So it's a lot easier to do. So a lot of these frame traps, now you're going to get maybe 1 to 2 extra frames of leeway. A lot easier to do. So if you go low jab, and then throw out a strong and they try to crouch tech. Oh, actually, you can't crouch tech in this game, sorry.
Well, is that the case? I thought that was... Well, I didn't know, I guess. I assumed it was only in links that there was that extra leniency. Is that not true? Or just in combos, maybe. Let me just put it like that.
Oh, the 3 frame button leniency? No,
Yeah.
Supposedly that's
It's
everywhere.
every time you press a button?
Even punishes and stuff like that.
Cool.
So supposedly. But don't quote me, obviously. Things can change.
Yeah,
or,
of course.
you know, I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually test all this stuff. So, but very cool find. Shout outs to Periodico for finding that.
Good work.
I don't remember if we mentioned this. No, we didn't last week.
No,
We found out
didn't
that it was revealed that Fang, I should say, because that's how you would pronounce it in Chinese.
That's
But it's
what
got
the
all
game
these
itself
dumb,
says.
it's got all the dumb dots in between. So, but I guess we'll call him Fang. Fang is a charge character.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It sort of makes me think, and I don't know if this was out last time either, but there's a whole long set of Combo Fiend versus Mike Ross.
So good.
Combo Fiend.
Such a great
Fang.
set.
Yeah, it was a good set.
Mhm.
And finding out after that he's a charge character makes me reevaluate how Combo Fiend was playing a little bit. Because it seemed to me like there was some kind of, why wouldn't you do this here?
Why wouldn't you just be chucking fireballs all day? you know?
Right. So that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. It's a really, really good video. Yeah, if you guys can find it, it's on IGN's channel. What is his name? I want to call him Vincognito because that's what I thought it was, but it wasn't that. It was something else.
Vince?
It was his username, his user tag was something to that effect.
Yeah.
But he works at IGN. He got them
Right.
there to play, so it's an IGN video. So just
Very
search
good
for
video,
it.
man. Not just the gameplay.
Mhm.
The people involved. Shout outs to them. They were good.
Apparently they announced that for King of Fighters 14. By the way, I saw some pictures someone tweeted out. I don't know how official they were, or maybe it was like someone saying all they have to do is apply these filters. But like there were some pictures that they like shaded them and they looked way better. I showed you those pictures, right?
You did?
Yeah, they looked way better. So I don't know if those are official or what. But any case, apparently there's going to be 50 characters in the game, and you are not going to have to unlock a single one of them.
Interesting.
As soon as you get the game, all 50 characters are going to be playable on launch.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I mean, the last game had DLC characters, so I'm
Right.
kind of surprised that they're not doing that again.
Mhm,
But okay.
mhm. Yeah. Oh, cool. Someone, in the chat just linked that video. So.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Also in Pokken.
Yes.
Pucken.
Pucken.
They announced official characters. They got leaked.
Oh, is that how it was?
They got leaked, but then they officially announced. So apparently, Septile, Farfetch'd, and Electrode have officially joined Pucken. I don't know if they're assists or if they're actual characters. Oh no, they're playable characters. Yeah. So Septile and such are playable characters.
Anticipated support characters Farfetch'd and Electro.
So those are support characters, but Septile is a main character.
I
that
see.
You can pick.
Oh, it would have been cool to have Electro as a playable character because it's just a ball.
That's right. Okay.
How would he move around?
See, that'd
just
be awesome.
Floating. Yeah.
We haven't talked about this game on the show yet at
I don't
all.
think we have.
But there's a game called Nitro Plus Blasters, which is being localized, brought here to the U.S. by Xseed.
Right.
L.I. Joe apparently is really into this game right now.
Okay.
But they just announced that on release there's going to be free characters on there. It's it's one of the Japanese anime-ish kind of fighting games. Though I think it's more 2D plane, kind of more like Uniel style. But it's all female characters from a lot of famous anime characters. Apparently, a character named Saber's in it, who's like a really popular anime character in Japan. This is what I've been told. In any case,
I can't corroborate that.
But so this game will have some free characters apparently on release. And not only that, but they also announced that they're going to bring it into Europe early next year as well.
Okay.
And, Europe has been on the short end of the stick for many game releases. So
Yeah.
this is actually a big deal.
Many an anime
for
game.
a lot of people. This was actually playable Is it out yet in America? I can't remember now, but it was playable at SCR and a bunch of other events and stuff. So, yep. But it will be coming out in Europe early next year. It is available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3.
All right, cool.
Nitro Plus blasters. Final Fantasy, Square Enix has actually talked about that they're trying to go into competitive esports now.
What? I missed this.
Oh, you missed this. You didn't see my tweet afterwards. Okay.
No, I haven't been on Twitter.
Okay. But so they're trying to get into competitive esports, and obviously they have this game, Final Fantasy Dissidia, which is a fighting game out there. And so a lot of people are assuming maybe that's where they're trying to go. Look, I said this on Twitter, I'm going to say this here again.
Okay.
If Square Enix wants to make a competitive game, talk to me. Like, you know how much I've talked about how much I want to make a Mega Man game and stuff like this?
Yes.
There's actually another game that I've never talked about that I've thought about for a good over 10 years that I've always wanted to make, but I can't because it involves, Square Enix properties and stuff like that. Talk to me, dude. Seriously, I would make them free. This money would be so free. This money would be freer than free if they hired me to make a Square Enix game.
That's not even too far away from where you work now, so...
Yeah, I know, right? But
offices are right over there.
I'd have to somehow convince them to, make a brand new game just based off of my ideas. But I've never talked about it because it's, like, super secret. Like, I refuse.
You should go... You want me to draft up an NDA for you to bring over to that?
Let's do it.
Well, why not?
Let's do it. Seriously.
Okay.
Like, I've got pretty much... Look, if they want to get in the competitive esports scenes, I can make them free money.
Okay.
I had thought of this game even before there was esports. Let's just put it that way.
All right.
Free money, Square Enix.
Well, they're probably not watching UltraChenTV, man. So
I guarantee you they are. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they're not. So, if I had a choice, if Capcom and Square Enix came up to me and was like, James, you can make the Mega Man game of your dreams, and Square Enix like, you can make this competitive game, I would pick the Square Enix game.
Okay.
I actually would. So.
Okay.
Because Mega Man, I think a lot of people could handle correctly. I could trust a lot of other people with this, but my idea for the Square Enix game is just me.
All right, do your thing.
In any case, Guilty Gear Xrd Sign and Under Night in Birth EXE Late are currently discounted on the PlayStation Network. So definitely check that out. Guilty Gear Xrd Sign on PS3 currently is $16. On PS4 it's $20. If you have PS Plus, that is reduced to $12 and $15.
Dang, that's awesome.
Under Night in Birth EXE Late is $20 right now. If you have PS Plus, it's $10. You get a whole 50% off of that.
It even says the regular price is $40, $50, $40 for Xrd Sign on PS3, $50 for it on PS4, then $40 for it on Under Night on PS3. Right. That's awesome.
I think today, maybe, or was it yesterday, was the last day to get Xrd on Steam for a discounted price. But before this month ends, all of the DLC is free, and only for this month.
Yeah.
So if you can, try to pick it up now so you get all the colors. You get Leo and Sin and all the other characters for free.
I did.
Elfelt, that's right, yeah. Oh, you got it. Oh, nice. Sick stuff. So definitely check that out. Oh, Steam sale ends tomorrow. So, pick that up. 2020. And, dude, it's so funny, too, because if you have a computer that supports it, and apparently you don't need that crazy of a computer.
Okay.
It supports, like, 4K graphics. And I've seen screenshots of it, right?
Yeah.
And it gets zoomed in super big on your monitor, obviously, because I don't even have 4K on my monitor. And the line, because it's all 3D graphics, it's so smooth. Like, it looks amazing. Yeah. And the weirdest part about it is the UI elements, because they're 2D and not designed for this, they look janky. Like, you can actually zoom in and see, like, them zooming in the UI graphics. But the characters are crisp and amazing looking. It just looks ridiculous. So,
Toshin in the chat says that the DLC is free till January 16th.
Oh, for a month, not to the end of this month.
Maybe a month. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
There you go.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So definitely check that out.
What else we got going on?
We've got a couple of community things here. Let me change the topic. picks. Again, Adam, if you feel like leaving Mike Ross and Flo and Chris Seglia and everything like that, you want to become a stream producer here on the much more lucrative and high quality production stream.
You know, there's a bit of a pay cut involved.
Yeah,
a bit of a
little
cut.
bit,
Yeah.
just a tiny bit.
Some percentage.
Actually, it'd be an infinite percentage, right?
Yeah.
Weekly reminder. I didn't see that Norval Tataki had released a new Guilty Gear video, but of course Norval Tataki. Shout outs to Axis, by the way. Actually, Arxis, they retweeted the Guilty Gear videos that we did on UltraChenTV with Choi Sauce.
That was awesome.
I pointed them also. I responded to that tweet and pointed people to Norval Tataki as well because he's done awesome stuff. But also check out Lord Knight's articles, always on Shoryuken.
Yeah.
Ran into Lord Knight at NEC and I told him, I was like, hey, I've been shouting all your stuff. He's like, really? That's cool. I was like, yeah, thanks for watching our show. No one watches our show, so it's all good. But yeah, so definitely check out Lord Knight stuff on SRK, as well as Norval Tataki's stuff on YouTube. Again, that's youtube.com/Norval Tataki, NOVRIL Good stuff, helping you learn Guilty Gear. Yeah. And a lot of that applies to a lot of the Arxis games because it's like air dashing concepts and stuff like that.
Very good work.
Also, reminder, although this is the final one, the final episode of Snake Eyes Cultivation, episode 6, came out today. Dude, talk about a turnaround. It's all Capcom Cup.
Yeah.
They recorded and edited and got via to narrate. They did that fast because it is super high quality stuff.
Yeah.
And it's out already.
Like,
Just over a week later.
What did you think about it?
It was really good.
I thought it was good, yeah.
And they were very fortunate they had a good ending.
Right. It definitely could have been worse for Snake Eyes.
Dude, do you know?
He almost went 0-2.
Did you see the segment where they were like, if this were a fairy tale ending?
Yes.
And they had footage of him like beating Daigo.
Yeah, I was like, how's this happening?
And like, we were even like, oh my god, and he's taking it. Oh my god, Snake Eyes has done it. And like, I was like, how do they, like, what wizardry is this?
Yeah.
It was really cool
Actually,
stuff.
so you know how I have a terrible memory for this kind of thing? I really thought for a second, I thought Daigo won that. I was really like, wow, I guess I was wrong.
Wow.
That's how unsure of my memory I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously not a great ending, but it would have been better than if he went 0-2.
Yeah, he almost went 0-2, so he got top 8.
Yeah, but definitely check out the last episode. In fact, if you haven't seen any of it, please check out all 6 episodes of the Red Bull Cultivation series. Seriously, probably one of the best fighting game community-related content ever produced.
You're probably right. It was very well done.
It's really, really good.
Very, very well done. Yeah. There was so you know the scene where he's where he's walking out of the building in the downstairs. I was there for that in real life, and I saw him walking by himself, so I went up to him, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, good job today." And he was like, "We're filming."
So they have to retake it? Do they have to retake? You ruined the shot, David.
Yeah.
David.
I didn't even realize.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Well, speaking of really cool documentaries, FGC Rise of the Fighting Game Community by Hold Back to Block, aka Esteban. He's been working on this for a very long time. He also takes a lot of great photos at events and such like that. He's been filming this for a very long time. But it's done. It's on the finishing touches right now. And it is going to premiere on January 12th. And it's going to be coming out, I forgot what it might just be on the official website. And you can, the first is, so here, let me read this to you. Those who wish to check this out can do so by 2 methods, both of which are provided through VHX. So there's a website called vhx.tv. The first is a 3-day streaming rental for $4. And the second is a full price purchase for $10.
Nice.
So if you pay the $10 one, you can just download a copy of it and watch it whenever you want. So
that's cool.
The $4 one, I'm assuming, like most streaming services, you get a 3-day window to stream it as often as you want, and then it gets shut, closed
All
out.
right.
But
it's kind of a weird business model, but all right, I'll give it a 10. That sounds cool.
I've heard people I've talked to people who have seen it. They said it's very, very good. They said it's very good for introducing people who don't know about the fighting game community to really see a lot of what we're about, and to really showcase how cool the fighting game community is to those who are unfamiliar with it. There is a trailer out for it, so just look up FGC Rise of the Fighting Game Community launch trailer in YouTube, and you should be able to see it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, what else is going on?
Some more kind of baddish news here. Lapchi has decided to dissolve his CCG player sponsorship. I was about to say CCG gaming, like ATM machine and stuff like that.
Yeah, Canada Cup Gaming, the team, the sort of business that makes Capcom Canada. God, can they please change the name?
I know, right?
One of those. That business is still around, but the team itself is going bye-bye.
Yeah, so that was Human Bomb, Air, Chirithi, Detrimantix. I think there was another one somewhere, but maybe B-Ball.
I think B was. I think B is.
So, but in other words, they all don't have a sponsor anymore for now.
Right.
So one of the things that Lapchi said is that he's totally open to sponsoring players again. He just wants to see how the landscape changes once Street Fighter V comes out. See who else is gonna, because I mean, obviously some of these players are not guaranteed to be good at Street Fighter V.
I haven't even heard from David Detrimantix Paris in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. He was an awesome Marvel player in Canada.
Very good early Marvel player.
Stopped playing.
Marvel 3. Yeah, stopped playing.
Stopped playing. So, but yeah, hopefully Lapchi will be back with some more players, and once Street Fighter V, becomes more solidified in terms of who's good and who's not, he'll be back in the sponsor business.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Smart man.
On the other side of the planet, and on the other side of news moods, I guess, Twitch.tv in Japan has hired Ryutaro Eiro Noda to Twitch.
Aru.
You might know him better as Papa Chihuahua.
Yeah, some reason in Japan they call him Aru, and then we don't. I don't know why. But we call him Papa Chihuahua. I mean, he calls himself Papa Chihuahua, but he mostly calls himself Aru.
But I mean, his Twitter is Papa Chihuahua, right?
I'm not saying it's made up.
Yeah.
It's just that for some reason in the U.S. we always call him Papa Chihuahua. Yeah. Anyway, that guy's working for Twitch now.
Yes,
that's cool.
He's been hired by Twitch, so he's mostly a commentator right now, but I'm not sure what his role is going to be exactly, but probably similar to a lot of the other players, just to represent the community. For example, GamerBee in Taiwan.
Right. So
Papa Chihuahua is probably going to play a very similar role. And remember, they were hiring for the U.S. for a FGC community liaison kind of guy. So, so awesome news for him.
Can you put that picture up? It's hilarious. It's a hilarious picture. Look at that guy. Oh, it's fantastic.
He's the best.
It's fantastic. He's amazing. So his name, Papa Chihuahua, right? I don't know if we've told this story before, but we did an interview with him, and it turns out, or he interviewed us, I should say, and he explained the name. It's because back in the day, when he was a younger man, he was a wolf, and he would prowl and meet the ladies, and he would, do whatever young men do. And now he's married and has a kid, and now he's no longer a wolf, he's a Chihuahua. So Papa Chihuahua is the name. I just think that's a great name.
It's a great way to come up with a nickname, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, congratulations to him for getting hired by Twitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it that I have for community news. Again, if you guys just tuned in or tuned in not at the very beginning of the show, which I'm sure all of you did because you guys rush home to watch Tuesday's show from beginning to end.
Or maybe like are in bed falling asleep as it happens on the East Coast.
Probably. This is the last episode for the year.
Right.
We normally close out with a year-end recap where we talk about our favorite best players, favorite match, etc., etc. We've been traveling to NEC and Capcom, and then before that, just doing World Wars of Capcom. We're tired, and we didn't. And it actually we actually spend a lot of time trying to pick those categories, so we just didn't have a chance to do it. So instead, we'll move it to the first episode of 2016, kind of as a welcome back. Here's a recap of 2015. So we'll still do the episode, but it'll be the first episode in the year 2016.
I think that'll be interesting to do too, because we'll be able to do a 2016. Maybe not predictions, but more like, what do you expect? What do you hope?
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. Yeah.
Of course, these are things that we've talked about in advance and
of course
or have planned for quite a while.
Right, because that's how we do things.
Indeed.
We plan things far in advance when we do this show.
Yeah.
It's not mostly off the cuff at all.
Yeah.
Any case, so this is the last episode of the year. Definitely want to thank everyone who's been tuning in for long periods of time. Wish everybody happy holidays.
Indeed. If you are a Hanukkah type, I hope you had a good one. It's already over. Mm-hmm. If you're a Christmas type, enjoy that one.
Yeah.
If you're Kwanzaa, or if you're none of the above, whatever you got, man, hope it's a good one. Everybody's got the new year at least. Mm-hmm. Assuming that you abide by the same calendar year that we do, which not everybody does.
Not everybody's.
It's hard to find cross-cultural the sames, man.
Yeah.
It's sort of something everybody agrees on.
I will say this,
Happy
though.
Star Wars. Everybody's down with that.
Okay, fair enough.
Everybody's
down with that. I do want to say, though... I will say, however, that... just because we're not doing the Tuesday show for the next coming week doesn't mean we're not going to stream. So I might stream some Street Fighter V beta this weekend. I might even try to stream some Guilty Gear Xrd on Steam, just to show the game and such like that. You can watch me just get destroyed as Potemkin all day, which I think actually people probably would enjoy because I'll probably get pretty mad and pretty salty. But I do want to stream some other games like Tomb Raider and all sorts of stuff like that. So just keep an eye out on the UltraChen channel anyway. Yeah. And we'll be streaming random games from time to time.
I'll be streaming this weekend.
The beta, right?
Yeah, the beta.
Yeah.
But I should let you know that I won't be interacting with the chat in any way. When I tweet that I'm going to go live, I won't get back to you at all. I'm going to be avoiding all social media for fear of the one idiot out there, and there's gonna be one.
Oh yeah,
or more.
Yeah.
Who spoils something about the Star Wars?
Right.
Because I can't allow that. It's probably nobody that I'm following. I feel like none of them will actively be a jerk about it and be like, oh, here's some crap.
Don't you follow Hanzo Gonzo?
I do. He is a jokester about many things.
Yes.
Spoiling Star Wars is not one of them.
Okay,
I strongly believe that.
Fair enough.
But I do think it's likely that somebody will just, without thinking about it, accidentally.
And it'll be like the one time you look at the chat and read a sentence.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
Okay.
That's what I'm worried about.
Fair enough.
Come maybe Thursday, probably, because people will be seeing it quite a bit by then. I'll probably, I don't even know what I'm going to do. What do you do without social media? I have what am I going to do while I'm taking a dump? What am I going to do while I am in between sentences of conversations that I have with people I know?
What are you going to do right before you go to sleep?
What am I going to do before I go to sleep?
What are you going to do on
What am I going to do when I wake up? When I wake up, this thing is right here. It's right next to my head, as I'm sure it is with almost everybody. And I reach for it, and I'm like, all right,
Dude,
and then I lay in bed for 20 minutes reading social media or
I
Reddit.
Instinctively turn on my phone and go straight to Twitter every morning.
Right.
And so I'm just going to do that. It's going to be like, oh my god, Snape killed Dumbledore. And I'm going to be like, no! Spoiler alert.
I remember when that was legit a spoiler.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll play Hearthstone, okay, But there are some times when...
Dude, someone's username is just going to be like...
Oh, God, you're probably right.
I just killed Hearthstone for David.
That'd be devious. In fact, what about the Street Fighter V beta where you get to remake your name every time?
Oh, dude. We might just not be able to play.
I might not be able to live in the 21st century during that weekend.
I know, right?
I don't have tickets for any like a Thursday showing or anything, so.
Right.
Well, I'll try to figure out a way to live in these modern times, but it's going to be tough.
Sounds like Friday. Because the thing is, no theater's going to be available on Friday night.
No, I mean, I already know that the theaters in this area are sold out the first couple of days.
Right.
I looked, that was like a month ago, so.
Jesus. Neither of us have tickets, by the way. So both of us are kind of screwed for the Star Wars thing already, so we're going to have to figure something out.
I don't know why I've been so lazy about that. It's so important to me, and I've been so lazy.